Goats and mushrooms, cattle and pigs, shrimp and moi, tomatoes, peppers, bananas galore, beaches and snow-capped mountains, golf courses, sunsets, water all around. All this in a famous chef. Where in the world are we? Find out next on Chefs Afield. It is 2,100 miles across the ocean from just about everywhere. Kings have called it home and waged wars over its shores. If there's a place in the world whose very name summons thoughts of paradise itself, it is Hawaii. Larger than all of the other Hawaiian islands combined, the Big Island of Hawaii has extraordinary diversity of climate. From the snowy peak of Mauna Kea, it's only a few miles to sandy tropical beaches. The variety of climate and volcanic soils combine to produce an unequaled array of foods, vegetables, livestock, seafood, ingredients that inspire the Hawaiian cuisine of famed chef Alan Wong.
People are looking for more is the story. They want to know where it comes from, who grows it.
At each of his restaurants in the islands, Wong serves up the cuisines that have come here over the centuries. The arriving Polynesians, later the Europeans, still later Asians, Chinese, Japanese, and others. In one way or another, they're all on the menu.
So we can plant the taro.
Today, the chef is out to explore the many offerings. Our first stop on the Big Island, Keaukaha School in Hilo on Hawaii's eastern coast. A traditional Hawaiian school in one of the island's oldest villages.
The ratio is 3-to-1. You can use any measurement you want.
Wong, who went to a school much like this one, has become a patron, a visiting scholar of good food.
One of the things I like about cooking is I have to keep an open mind. There's many, many new ways to do things, many, many new ingredients that I can cook with, and many, many new things I want to try. This is a tomato. Guess what the name is? This is called a lemon boy. Got it? What kind of, well, guess what this one's name is? This is called the Brandywine Tomato. Is a good one. Guess what this one is called?
Mini tomato.
Green zebra. You know what your palate is? It's your taste buds, your tongue. A palate memory is something you remember that is the best thing that you ever ate. What we're going to do for you today, this is a tomato that you find in the supermarket. This is a regular tomato. This is a special tomato. Hamakua Springs Tomatoes. I want you to tell me like one, which one you think tastes better. Which one you guys like better?
The little one. A little watery.
Why do you like it better?
Because it has more juice and it tastes more better.
Why does it taste so much better?
Yeah.
Ah, a tomato grown just down the road, picked ripe and fresh. Even the youngsters know the difference.
I hope you learned a little bit about ingredients and a little bit of tomatoes. What you gonna remember that I told you?
You can, we can.
If I can, you can. Why?
You can make anything.
The award-winning chef knows that it's about more than just eating well. It's lessons about life, hard work, dreaming large, following one's passion. Just up the road, Hamakua Springs and the farm of Richard Ha, a longtime friend and a supplier of fresh, wholesome produce.
I see how the killings is on and fresh.
From modest beginnings, Farmer Ha has created a modern farm. These days, that means sustainable, diversified. There are tomatoes of all sorts, peppers in all shades, herbs and flowers, and native plants.
How long have you been doing the banana thing?
Oh man, I think about 30 years.
30 years?
I'd say about 30 years. We started off with about 2 acres and no more money. So my dad had the chicken farm. So we traded chicken manure for banana kiki.
The banana, biologically not a tree, but a flowering herb. the tallest of any herbaceous plant.
And what kind of bananas are these?
These are called apple bananas. They're a little bit different from the
Smaller, but better flavor.
sweet, tart combination, better flavor. Yeah, that's right. A banana plant will only give one bunch, and then it reproduces vegetatively. So you'll have
A small one like that will take how long to grow up to this size and produce one bunch?
It'll take about a year from the time it's that size to the time you actually harvest the plant. And what we do here is, if you notice, all of the banana bunches have a plastic sleeve on it. It has a colored ribbon, and we have 16 combinations, so that every week there's a new one that we put on, and every week we harvest.
Bananas are always harvested green?
Yeah, they're always harvested green.
So you could actually leave like one row completely yellow and not harvest them if somebody asked for that.
Oh, we could, yeah. And it would naturally ripen, yes.
And that would be a better banana.
Hanging on the tree will make it more complex, but it's in the carbohydrate form when it's green. And when you ripen it, it actually gets sweeter if you ripen it in a ripening room.
Really, not on the tree?
No, because it'll go straight to starch. So it'll actually not be as sweet.
And how do they get harvested?
You get to see that. Here's a long knife. It's a real trick, because what you got to do is you got to weaken the fiber and not cut right through the fiber.
One sharp machete and one strong arm. Careful, don't bruise the bananas. One tree, one knife, and just one bunch of bananas.
That's cool.
How many you harvest in one day?
120.
Pretty mean, yeah? Yeah, but you got to be good. You saw how easy that looks, huh? It is not easy. You want to use one of the knives to try?
I don't know, bro. You know, my pitching arm not the same, you know. He made it look easy. I don't think it's that easy.
I know.
It's hard work.
Each bunch is coddled. Despite its thick skin, the banana is one of the most delicate of fruits. There's sap in a banana, and it will turn the flesh brown with even the slightest bump. Each bunch is hung, cut, and floated in a bag. On its way to market, to table, that's when a banana is ripening. The hot Hawaiian sun is perfect for growing tomatoes. Here at Hamakua Springs, they are grown in what you might think is a greenhouse. Here they are called hoop houses.
Boy, you just like a magnet. You go for the sweet one, huh?
The sugar is unbelievable.
Yeah.
The birds don't come in here.
Birds love it in here. They love it in here. We gotta capture them and take them to Hilo and let them go. This bag here, this long bag, it comes with coconut in it, dried coconut, so it's real light.
What part of the coconut?
It's just coconut, the whole coconut shredded up. And we put little tomato plant growing in it. And then we put a little dripper.
Why do you choose to grow it this way rather than in the soil like the conventional way?
There's hardly any weeds to deal with. So we don't have to spray for weeds. We don't have soil-borne insects to spray and treat for as well. Because we grow it under this plastic, we can control the amount of water. We don't end up wasting. We get better yields and we get better quality. And so we get more intense production over a small area.
Great tomatoes. Let's go check out the heirlooms.
Sure.
Heirloom tomatoes, recognized by their unusual colors, shapes, and names. As recently as 5 years ago, they were just something off in a collector's corner, relics of days gone by. Now they show up on nearly everybody's menu.
Yeah, this happens to be red Brandywine.
Red Brandywine.
This line right here.
Wow, look at this one.
Yeah.
This is big.
Wow, look at that.
Wow. 1 pound?
Beautiful. Oh yeah, easy.
Let's try this.
Cuts like it's tasty. Ew. Just like cutting butter. Man alive, look at that.
You know what I tell people? You have 2 seasons in Hawaii, rain and sunshine. So therefore we can have a vine-ripened tomato year-round. And thanks to you.
Yeah, that's what it takes, yeah? Rain and sunshine.
Well, what's with the heirloom tomatoes? They all look like
Ugly.
weird. Yeah.
Well, these are old varieties. They grew it for taste back then, and they didn't really have a thought about how pretty it was or whether it shipped well. Its biggest advantage or biggest characteristic was that it tasted extremely good, but it went out of favor.
Really?
Yeah, because people started wanting uniform size tomatoes that could ship well. They could bounce real high, but you know, they weren't really sweet. But with the chefs like you guys wanting taste, heirloom tomatoes started making a comeback, and that's why we're growing them for the same reason that's what we like to eat.
And then the heirloom tomatoes mean that the seeds were never altered or modified?
They're old seeds.
What's your favorite heirloom tomato? Yeah, I see that.
If I go for sweet tomato, this is my favorite.
Oh, yeah?
If I go for a good acid sweet balance, it's purple Cherokee.
It may not be as ripe, but you can tell it has more personality.
Yeah.
A tomato is not the only vegetable with a personality. There's personality here too, just a few rows over in the peppers.
As you can see, they're green before they turn color. All of them are green before they turn the primary color.
Really? So the green bell pepper is really an unripe bell pepper?
Yeah, that's what it is.
So the reds actually are sweeter than the green ones. Let's try one.
Yeah.
You pick which one. You want a yellow one? You want a red one? You want an orange one? These look really beautiful.
How about this one?
Okay. Bite the bell pepper.
Oh, sure.
These are very good.
Yeah, it is, huh?
They're really thick. It's thick, so the yield on this, yeah, once you trim the ribs off, look, it's almost double the meat.
I know it's sweet. I like this.
The texture is so unbelievable too. It's right off the plant. Can't beat this.
All you need a little bit of Hawaiian salt. Wicked, yeah? Very good.
Is there such a thing as a striped pepper?
No, it'll go straight from green to yellow, and then straight from green to orange,
And then green to red.
green to red. They're 3 different varieties.
This one might be sweeter, but that has a different flavor. That one's more acid. This one has more salt.
Oh, okay.
This one tastes more like a pickle. This one has the most personality so far.
On Alan Wong's island farm tour, there are all sorts of personalities among the plants. All across the island, people and places with things for the chef. And there's one more stop for the chef today. Golf courses are beautiful to look at, and one of the loveliest and most challenging is the Jack Nicklaus course at the Four Seasons Hualalai Resort.
Hey, Alan.
Hey, how you, Chris?
Oh, I'm doing good this morning. How you doing?
Oh,
Good.
Hey, brother. Morning.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, we got some shrimp. I understand you want to make something special with that.
Yeah, we went to
Shrimp from a golf course? Does this chef understand what it takes to keep a golf course green? Pesticides, chemicals, fertilizers? But here, things are done a little differently. This is one of the most eco-friendly golf courses you can tee off from anywhere.
This is Puna Vai, and Puna means a spring. Vai is the Hawaiian word for fresh water.
Now, how close is this to the, the ancient fish ponds that existed a long time ago in Hawaii?
Well, it's similar in a way, but providing a habitat that is beneficial for all of us to eat and gather from.
Every day, Hualalai irrigates with and recycles 3 million gallons of water. The native plants and grasses do the cleaning, so the same water can be home to lots of fish and shrimp.
Well, this here living system is one of the complete and new innovative ways of water feature. Maybe it'll set forth as a model for other water features around the world.
Now, you said besides the shrimp, you got oysters, you got moi, you got ava, you got mullet, you said kalani and manini.
Yeah, and there's some other secret things that go in there, and they just swim about with the rest of them. Some of the foam that you're seeing there on the top, mixture of salt, dissolved organics, got a lot of protein and amino acids and things like that.
That's pretty good size.
Hey, let's see. Wow, look at this. Got some of the rupia, some of the grass. Look at that.
Wow, that's pretty good. What kind of shrimp are these?
These are Pacific white shrimp. You can almost taste them in garlic butter, but you probably got some favorite recipes, huh?
We're gonna cook them up today with some tomatoes from Richard's farm at Hamakua.
Wow. Well, these guys are up for a good treat. I don't know if they think it that way, but it should be deserving for us, huh?
So great. Look how fresh they are, huh?
Whew. Makes your mouth water.
Oh, you cannot get fresher than this. What these shrimp eat?
These shrimp are herbivores. They like to eat the limu. And we also got some fine food that we help establish their diet with.
How you cook these guys for you?
You know something? Me, I hardly cook shrimp, but I like them raw.
You eat these raw?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sweet.
Shoyu and hot mustard, mix them together, add wasabi. You know, another thing that adds to its sweetness in here is its salt content in the water.
Uh-huh.
If you eat fish that's in fresh water, it's kind of bland. If you eat fish and shrimp that are from salt water, it's got a sweeter flavor. The ocean is about 35 parts per thousand in its breakdown of salt. Here in this pond, we have about 19, 20 parts per thousand salt. It's a little less, but a lot of salt.
This is brackish water.
It's brackish mixing, yeah. So what we have, we got a pump system right up here that pumps in the water. And it's about 400 gallons a minute, 24/7.
Wow.
Well, why don't we pick that up, be ready to head on and check out our Waiakawi?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Now a trip along the seaside to the 9th hole for fish. Royalty's own fish, the moi.
Okay, Alan, come on down over here. This is Waiakawi Fishpond. This is one of our moi containment areas.
Wow.
Okay, we're gonna get in there and get a couple of them for you today so you can mix it together with the shrimp. Oh, Alan, check it out.
All right.
How's those babies?
A big one, man. Wow, look at that. Ooh, fresh.
Oh, that gotta be ono, yeah? Good to eat. The other one about the same size.
Yeah.
Well, we'll add this together with the dish. How's that sound?
Okay, we'll cook some moi.
Hey, you wanna give it a shot?
Shoot.
I'll go chase some to you, some more easy.
Let's try.
Yeah.
See ya. For real, eh? This guy is so fast. You gotta go this way, eh? Oh, no way, no way.
Try lay them flat, like this. No can do. All ready?
Yeah, ready.
We go.
So I'm gonna do a sauteed moi dish with a very simple tomato salad. These are Richard's Heirloom Tomatoes. This is a salad that we're gonna utilize the sweetness of the tomatoes to make a sort of its own sauce. I'm gonna salt the tomatoes, and then we're just gonna mix it with a bunch of different ingredients and some olive oil. The product is so great that we as cooks, we gotta sometimes just let it stand, on its own and speak for itself. So sometimes our job is to stay out of the way. So you add the salted tomatoes and you let it sit for about 5 minutes. So after that, you can see the water on the bowl. We're gonna add some minced shallots. We're gonna add some capers to that. And then we're gonna add 3 kinds of olives. Pichaline olives, a Kalamata, and a Niçoise olive. To this, we're just gonna take some fresh basil, just the hand-torn basil, real simple. Some flat leaf Italian parsley done the same way. And the last ingredient be some extra virgin olive oil. So the only other thing I'm gonna put in here is sea asparagus. This is like sea beans, or what the French call pousse-pied. This is from the north shore of Oahu, where the big surf is. Sunset Beach, Waimea Bay. It grows in brackish water. Has a nice crunch to it, slightly salty. So this morning, we were at the pond and we caught the moi. These are the fillets. I've just taken them and cut them into 3 pieces. I'm gonna simply saute them. So we're gonna get a pan hot, throw a little salad oil in there. I'm going to dust these moi fillets with some kosher salt and some sea asparagus powder. It has a kind of seaweed nose. You can see how fresh it is. It just curls up right in the pan. I like to put the skin side down to get it kind of crispy. This will take about 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, moi is done. The tomato salad is done. I'm just gonna give it a final toss. You can see that the olive oil and the tomato juices have kind of created their own little sauce here. Just take the moi, lay it right on top of the salad. Moi is a white fish. It's very moist, delicate, pretty versatile. You can steam it, you could pan fry it, you could deep fry it, you can grill it. So it'll take to almost any sauce that you're gonna pair it with. A prized delicacy in Hawaii. In fact, in Hawaii, you will never see moi in a restaurant if it's caught in the ocean, because people would keep it or to give it away to the neighbors. So we're gonna garnish this with some basil and some baby shiso. And then the last thing I wanna serve with this salad is some goat cheese croutons. And this goat cheese comes from Hamakua. Dick and Heather Terrell Fall. It's a mom and pop operation. And what I really like about this goat cheese is that it's so mild, it's so versatile, and very, very fresh tasting. I'm just gonna serve this on the side. This salt from Kauai. In old Hawaii, they bartered with salt. Salt was a very, very treasured thing, because if you can imagine, that's how they seasoned food. In fact, this one comes from Kauai, Hanapepe Kauai, from Annie Kalailoa, and is hand harvested and has been kept in the family for all this time. And she won't sell it to me. She trades. She gets a dinner for some salt. This is sauteed moi with a tomato salad and sea asparagus with goat cheese croutons. This is a new take on a classic. A combination of seafood, shrimp, and clams with chorizo in a spicy yellow tomato stew. This is a tribute to the Portuguese and the Puerto Rican plantation immigrants that came here to work sugarcane fields. These are the shrimps from the pond that we harvested this morning. And we're also going to use Richard's yellow tomatoes. All right, little oil. You know, I think what makes Hawaii unique is its people, the history, and the culture of the people. I think Hawaii is a melting pot of the Pacific, and this is where truly East meets West, and the cuisine truly is a melting pot for me. I mean, Hawaii had three very important migrations of people coming to Hawaii. First were the Hawaiians. They came from the South Pacific by canoe. The second were the ships, the whalers, the missionaries. They brought certain food ingredients with them too. Then the third one came pineapple and sugarcane. So they had these sugarcane plantations. However, at one point in history, over half of the population of Hawaiians died because of disease that they couldn't combat. So what they did was they went to China to bring people to work the sugarcane fields, onions, to replace the Hawaiians that died. After the Chinese, the Japanese came, the Portuguese came, and the Puerto Ricans came. The difference between the Chinese and Japanese is the Portuguese and Puerto Ricans brought their families, versus the Chinese and Japanese, only the men came. Then you had the Koreans, the Okinawans, and then the Filipinos. So the Portuguese use a lot of tomatoes and onion, the garlic, and they also use chorizos or sausage. Okay, so we got the tomatoes in here. We got these beautiful eringi mushrooms from the Stangas farm up in Hamakua Coast. Gonna let that sweat a little bit. Gonna take a pinch of madras, just a pinch, some ground cumin, some ground coriander, and a pinch of saffron. I find a lot of our guests are looking for organic. They're looking for stuff without chemicals and pesticides and antibiotic-free, growth hormone-free. We serve only local beef in our restaurants, whether it's from Maui, which is finished on pineapple and sugarcane, or from North Shore Cattle Company, which is 100% grass-fed beef. I think what people are looking for more is the story. They want to know where it comes from, who grows it, how they grow it, and you know, sometimes why they grow it in their certain terroir. This is ahi amarillo, or literally translated is the yellow pepper. It's hot, but it's not really hot, but good flavor. Clams, fresh clams. I didn't really add any salt to this yet because the clams will give off some juice and a little saltiness there. I'm gonna add some fish sauce at the end. See this shrimp? This is what we harvested this morning. See, it's still alive, super fresh. I'm gonna take the shrimp that were peeled and deveined. This is the achote paste. Just gonna just slightly season that and toss that together. Gonna throw some chorizo in there. Take some basil, some cilantro, rough chop that. The shrimps are small. The residual heat in this dish will continue to cook them. All I'm looking for is the clams to cook and this dish is done. And my definition of cuisine is when the cooks begin to eat their own food. Kind of a rustic dish. I'm using the local products, giving a little cultural twist here, showing you a little bit of history of Hawaii. This would be great over rice or some pasta or some nice good old bread. We got some clams, hulalai shrimps, chorizo, and a Portuguese-style spicy yellow tomato stew.